And he was like, what if I could get Chewy from Twice? And I was like, please reach out, see if she'd be down. I would love that. I think she'd be great. He's been friends with her A&R for some time, or for the group's A&R. And he reached out. Her A&R came back, was like, not sure if they're doing solo records right now, but like send me the song and I'll play it for her and see if she likes it. But don't get your hopes up. And he was like, all right, sent her the song. And like 2 days later, she came back and she was like, hey, she absolutely loved the song and she absolutely wants to do it. And I heard the trumpets playing in my bedroom when I got that text. I was like,
that's good news.
Bad times, I don't wanna have bad.
I'm a New Orleans Saints fan, born and raised.
Are you from New Orleans?
No, but my dad is. Okay. So I was born into it. It's in my blood.
Right. That's how I am with the Commanders.
Yeah. Okay. I'm from DC, so
You are?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like Northern Virginia. Yeah.
Oh, like Fairfax?
Yeah.
Oh, you know where I'm from?
No, where are you from?
Waldorf, Maryland.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah.
You know
DMV.
where that is?
I've heard of it. I don't know where it is on the map.
It's right across the bridge. If you were to go over the Woodrow Wilson,
okay. Yeah.
you just go down to Maryland. It's the DC side of Maryland. It's Southern Maryland, but it's right down 301 from DC. You hit Charles County.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's so what separates Virginia and Maryland, where I'm from and where you're from, is the river, Potomac River.
Yeah.
So on the other side of the Potomac is Maryland, and that's where we sit. On the other side is Southern Maryland. So
yeah, sweet.
But my grandma used to live in. She passed away, but as grandmothers do, she had a very long life.
How long did she live?
She was well into her 90s.
Wow,
she was in the late
Good
90s.
For her. Wow.
So she lived in Manassas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I used to always play Pokemon Go in Manassas, bro. Yeah, they had like Snorlaxes over there.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, bro. Yeah.
So
I'm
we're
from
not far.
Centerville. Centerville is the actual town.
It's
but I say
kind of like country there.
Yeah, it's like I lived kind of in the more suburban area, so like a lot of townhouses,
Right.
but like there's like Clifton, which was like right next to Centerville and Manassas area, which is like all woods and back roads.
Yeah,
and,
so she was actually in, I want to get this right, because she was outside of, so she lived in like a more rural country area, but it was like closest to Manassas.
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't know if it was Woodbridge or if it was, it was out there.
Did you ever visit?
Of course, all the time.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Me and my friends call Manassas Manass. Yeah. I don't really know where it came from, but
I actually lived when I was probably your age, like 19. I know you're not 19, but you look like you're 19.
I get that all the time. I'll take it.
I lived in Alexandria.
Yeah.
I actually bought my first condo there.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I've met so many people like in the last 6 months that either know about Fairfax specifically or like have people that, or have friends or family that live there.
Yeah.
And it's so strange. The most recent one was I was at Jeremiah's house. I have a song with Jeremiah called Summer. And I was recording his final vocals for the pre-chorus there. And he had some people over. There were maybe like 10 people over, some writers. I think Trey Songz and Mario ended up coming over later. I had left before they came.
Okay.
I wish I stayed, but we're in there and a couple dudes walk in, start introducing myself, saying what's up. He had like this crazy studio in his house where there was like paint splattered all over everything. And it was like dark and there was neon lights. Wild room. And two guys walk in and saying what's up to the first guy. Second guy, I say what's up. And, you know, we're just the classic stuff you say when you're meeting somebody, like, what's your name, where you from, whatever. And he said Northern Virginia. And I was like, what you know about Northern Virginia? And he was like, I grew up there. And I was like, what part? And he was like Fairfax County. And I was like, what? That's where I'm from. He's like, what high school did you go to? And I was like, Centerville High School. Asked him the same question. And he said Westfield High School, which was our rival high school.
Right.
Back
Down
in the day.
street.
Yeah. And I was just like, the universe works in such weird ways. Like, what am I doing at Jeremiah's house right now? And there's 10 people here and a guy walks in and we probably were at the same high school football game across the country 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Like,
I've had that experience.
Super weird.
It's kind of weird, but it's also kind of like, and I mean this in like when I say the bigger you get, I mean this in the sense of like, not just like you have a hit song, but like the bigger you get, like you don't just grow in age.
Yeah.
You grow in experience, you grow in the knowledge, you grow in understanding, you grow in presence, you grow in if we looked at it from a business perspective, you grow in market position.
Yeah.
So your position in the market you're in gets stronger every year if you're working.
Right.
If you're not working, it gets weaker, right? So if you look at it that way, the bigger you get, the smaller the world gets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the world feels small because you're meeting some guy but you met him because you were at that guy's house doing what you do, which is work.
Right.
Right. And if we take the magic out of it, which is sometimes it's good to have a little bit of magic in things, but then sometimes it's good to stop and go, no, what's the science, right?
Right.
The science is that I know more people than I ever have.
Right.
Therefore, I'm going to meet more people than I ever have.
Yeah, and someone's bound to be from the place you're from. There's only so many places. Also, LA is one of those hot spots where everybody here, I feel like the majority of people here now are, and I could be wrong, don't quote me on this, but are from somewhere else.
Yeah, of course.
This is one of the places that people come to, and there's only a few of those places, in the country.
Yeah, it's a transplant centric place. It's very transplant friendly.
Yeah.
So like you can come from another place here and easily set up a life.
Yeah, for sure.
It's conducive to that. It's a part of the business model of the city is actually that. And then the arts obviously is LA tends to, I think, be more artist friendly in the sense of like people mix it up here.
Yeah.
So you find yourself in some room with some guy, you end up working on something, whether it becomes something or not. It's a lot of that kind of collaborative. Sure. It's a welcoming environment for artists and creators and stuff. And it's a really easy place to live.
Yeah.
The weather and the...
Oh, yeah, dude. We're spoiled here.
We get things the way we want them. You know, it's funny. It's a LA thing, right? You go to a restaurant and you go, I want that, but take that off.
Of course,
add that.
dude. Of course.
Only in LA.
Yeah.
You go to other places and they're like, what? It's on the menu.
Yeah.
And you're like, or they'll just go, okay,
so
and they'll
funny.
bring you what was on the menu.
Yeah, we're so spoiled here. We get what we pay for, though. It's but I love this city, man.
It is great. How long you been here?
I moved here officially in 2016.
Okay.
So just about 10 years.
That's good.
Yeah. I was 17 when I moved here.
Oh, wow.
So I've seen a lot of this city.
What's your take?
I feel like...
Oh, okay. Let me frame this different. Not just of LA.
Yeah.
I would imagine at 17, you're just coming into what I would say is like adult awareness of like what you want to do, where you want to go, how you want to do it. You're coming into it's the beginning of the next chapter of like manhood or adulthood or however you want to put it. So now you're 10 years in. That 10 years, not just because of the city, but because of what you chose to do with your life, you're getting kind of probably like 20 years of experience.
Oh, yeah, man. There's so much packed into this city.
Right.
And also, I think this job field, this occupation.
In this industry.
Yeah, is...
What's your take?
My take is... I miss the magic that LA once had that I feel like everybody experiences when they move here. You know? I think being 17, like, I used to be skateboarding around like Culver City, like all the way down to Inglewood, just like riding around, 17 years old, nothing else to care about except, I'm joining a band and I'm making music and wow, I'm in the city of dreams. And
it's innocent.
Super innocent. Yeah. And also just like the world feels so big at that point because you're like, wow, I've never experienced something like this and wow, this place is real. But I think LA is one of those cities that like it is what you make it, for the first like 3 or 4 years I was touring a lot, so I wasn't here a bunch, but this was like home base, so I started calling LA home. And I think being young here and being in a creative industry was something that I'll never take for granted because it was like just constant like, who gets to do this? Like, this is so cool. Since the pandemic I've settled down a lot. I've lived at the house that I live at for like, I think we're going on 7 years now.
Well, that's good.
And I live with some of my closest friends. And,
okay.
It's really tight. But like I said, I think LA is what you make it. And so I think you could say the same about really any city. Like you find your people, and I think if you're a good person and you treat people well and you're a little bit selfless, I think you can get so much out of this city and you can meet so many amazing people. There's the full spectrum of types of people here. And I think it's all about like where you choose to settle in. And my 10 years here have been amazing. I feel like I've almost done my time here.
Mm-hmm. Where else would you go?
I feel like I would want to go to New York City, man.
And New York's great.
Have you ever lived up there?
I have. I lived in New York for a year
Okay.
when
How
I was
it?
21.
Oh, nice.
And it was insane. It was
Yeah.
really, and New York is its own place.
Yeah.
And I go there all the time. I
Yeah.
go obviously for work and stuff. And my twin brother, who's my best friend and my partner across everything from when we had our band to all the things we do, he is bi-coastal truly. So he's there a good half or a fourth of the year.
Okay.
So I go there when he's there to see him because we don't do well when we're apart for too long.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever had a relationship like that, but like we are just like true partners, man. Like when
Sick.
we don't
Identical
get to see
twin?
each other, yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So New York is incredible. I love
Yeah.
New York.
I was
And-
just there for a week recently. It's
great.
And we were staying on the Lower East Side.
yeah,
And it was the first time I'd been in a few years. And it was actually the longest amount of time that I had spent there.
Pretty
in
great.
The last time. Bro.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it. We were
Yeah.
just like going to jazz bars at night and, having a couple beers and just like walking around the city. Go pick up a slice of pizza. I mean, I'm doing the touristy New York stuff, but I've heard
I
that
still do that.
the dollar slice. I mean, it's not really a dollar slice anymore, but
With pizza, I kind of just try a new place every time.
yeah.
I want to find I'm still searching for the best pizza in New York.
Yeah.
But I've had great pizza. I love New York pizza.
I just love the culture and the pace.
It's great.
I feel like in LA and maybe it's like since the pandemic or whatever, but it's gotten a little too laxed for me.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to move a little bit quicker, and also just the people there, and it's a different kind of energy socially there too than it is here. And
It's good to switch it up too,
yeah.
because then you come back to LA and you really appreciate it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like I've lost a little bit of that. Like, I love this city and I'm very grateful
Gotta
for the
fall in
city,
love
but
with
it's
it
not as
again.
exciting anymore, Like I'm planted here. So like it is what it is. And
I think some of that actually comes with age.
yeah.
I think the novelty of it when you're young and you have all your dreams in front of you,
Right.
and it feels like this place is supplying that to you,
Yeah.
is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But then I asked the question like, okay, if I took you out of LA and put you in Chicago or Tokyo or New York and you had the same dream, would you not have accomplished it? I think you would have,
Yeah.
because you have the drive.
Right.
And so when the city is wrapped up in an emotional, magical feeling, it
Yeah.
represents a different thing to you. But I believe that people like you would be driven to accomplish whatever they put their mind to, and that it wasn't luck,
Right.
and that it was you met the people that you met. And if you were in Chicago or New York, you would have met a different group of people and had a different version of the same
Yeah.
outcome.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So
actually.
I think that like when we get the special part of an emotional attachment is that it feels great,
Yeah.
but it can also feel bad too.
Yeah, for sure.
And when we don't, I feel like when I don't step back and analyze something and go like, yeah, but I'd probably feel that way about New York if I'd been there for 20 years. I've been in LA for 20 years and I know
oh
exactly.
yeah. Wow.
And we could say the city has changed. It has a little bit, but all cities do.
Yeah.
I think it's more my emotional
Yeah,
experience.
For sure. For
It's like
sure.
a marriage, right? You got to
Yeah.
keep the you got to keep the
Gotta keep the flame, keep the fire.
So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, oh, you know what? A little trip away isn't bad because I come back excited, and then I also had to like make myself understand that I'm not stuck in LA.
Yeah.
So I can go to New York for then I have kids, so it's different.
Okay.
But now they're teenagers and they're on their way to their own adventures.
Right.
So then now I'm like, well, do I have to stay in LA? Probably not. I could
Yeah.
go. Will I stay in LA? Well, I'll always have a house here, but maybe we want to go to Paris for 6 months and
Yes.
see what that's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sick. You think
but I
you'll do
think
it?
like when we give anything too much credit or power,
Yeah.
we are too emotional about it.
Right.
And there's a balance because I want to love places. I love LA. I have so much respect and love for what I've done here. But I
Yeah.
also believe I would have done that if I was in freaking London
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
Chicago
yeah,
or
yeah.
Dallas or, you know what I mean?
I feel like I'm craving the experience of like falling in love with a place.
Yeah, yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
And like I heard someone said something to me recently about being 27. I just turned 27.
Great
And
age.
someone said something about 27 in most people's lives is like this turning point where you want a big change or you want
Yep.
multiple big changes in your life. And I don't know if that's necessarily true or not, but I'm kind of feeling it. So
I think
New
there's
York,
something to it.
yeah, New York kind of felt like the most grabbable yearn for change. Where it's like, okay, I could probably change a lot of things if I just picked up and went somewhere really exciting. I don't know if I'll do it. Maybe in the next like 24 months or something. But
I think you
feel
have
like
all the
I have a little more
options.
work to do here before I go.
But I think you're not stuck.
Yeah,
You can go anywhere you want.
yeah,
And I think that as long as we remember that,
yeah,
and we might not want to go anywhere, but as long as we know that we can make those choices, then it's actually really like, if anything, it's just a relief to not feel like anything owns you.
yeah,
It's the worst feeling in the world.
yeah.
Versus committed to something that's different, right? But
Different intention.
whole different thing.
Yeah,
Partnerships are sustainable agreements, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of agreements we came to together that made this sustainable. And if there's not two people that agree
right.
and that are happy, so sometimes you have to readjust,
For sure.
right? So
For
in
sure.
20-year marriage, you're like, oh, you know what? Like you have to make space for this like thing to grow.
Yeah.
And it's just like that in a business. And I
Yeah.
find those similarities.
I went through that exact thing with my boy band.
Right. So,
and the whole reason.
And that's who you were touring with, right? Why don't we?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to know about that because I know you guys went through something,
Yeah.
but I don't know exactly what.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's been pretty painful.
It was rough. Yeah. It's on the back end now. We're like pretty much through everything. But
Okay.
yeah,
So would you say you got the result you wanted?
no. I mean, it was in court terms, you know, that we had some wins and some losses, you
Right.
know. There was certain evidence that couldn't be admitted for kind of reasons.
Yeah, like legal
and,
loopholes and rules and the game is played on paper in court, not in like real life. So there's always going to be little, when you're in a legal argument and a legal battle, it can be really frustrating when the real life part in the legal papers and rules and all the things that they use in court, that's the game they're playing.
Yeah.
So why lawyers are lawyers.
It was so crazy to experience it because I thought it was a lot more straightforward than it is. Our most compelling piece of evidence for our case, we had a lot of evidence for our case, but our most compelling piece was not allowed to be admitted.
Right.
And it was game changer. And we were like, we got to the day and we were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I don't understand. After the lawyers broke it down and I was like, okay, like, I guess doesn't really make sense to me, but I understand how it kind of applies in the court of law. But it was essentially a divorce between the
production
voting
company
members of
and
our company
and a band.
And
So
we became collateral damage. Had to pick a side. We picked a side, and
just from an outsider. So I'm going to tell you what I think from someone who just saw the top line. And I know nothing.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
I've never heard this perspective before.
So from my perspective, I'll tell you what I saw, and I've seen this a million times. So I have my own opinion, but I'm not in the actual legal case with you. So I think it's actually probably better for me to talk about it than you anyways, because I'm coming from a non-involved person who's just giving you their perspective and opinion on it. What I saw was pretty typical. What happens? A production company, anyone that's listening, most people don't understand the dynamics and the nuances of the different models of deals artists can do with different companies and
There's
stuff.
a lot of them, man.
So many.
It's crazy.
And the part about the music business is that anybody can print a business card and become a manager or the owner of a production company. If they have some money and they have some this, they can represent themselves as anything they want. There's no degree, there's no certificates, there's no certifications, there's no anyone can be a manager. Anyone can be a label. Anyone can be anything they want in the music business. There's a really great aspect of that, and there's some really tragic aspects of that as well. We've all experienced them. Just so you know, I'm coming from a place as an artist who's also been taken advantage of in what I felt I was taken advantage of.
I've never met an artist who did it at some point, which is kind of crazy, but it's, I guess it's a rite of passage, unfortunately.
You said it. Okay, so what I was going to say is congratulations, kid, you made it. And you're alive. Okay? So let's start there.
Live to tell the tale.
At the young age of 27, you have the old wisdom of someone taking advantage of you in some way, shape, or form, whether it was these guys or that guy or that guy. So I'm gonna be very ambiguous here.
Okay, yeah.
So
hit me
that
with it. Hit me with it.
everyone listening doesn't get all nervous.
Yeah, hit
Right?
me
'Cause
with it. Hit
Nothing
me
worse
with it.
than your managers or your lawyers getting nervous because you're talking about something. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
this is real though. This is important to talk about. All
Yeah.
right. And I don't know if you've unpacked it with anyone, but
I've like briefly unpacked it, and just so you know, I try to stay as unbiased as possible and kind of see bigger pictures. That's why I'm curious to hear.
That's how I am,
your
too.
take on it.
I
as
don't want to
well.
be a bitter person,
Yeah.
but you never forget
Right.
when someone does you wrong.
Right. And I'm not really a blame guy either. I like try to see all parts of the equation. And I feel like it's the only way to solve things is when you can see all the parts of the equation, be emotionally detached, and look for a solution given all the playing cards.
Yeah, that's smart.
You know,
That's really smart.
yeah. If I was a solo artist at the time, maybe it would have worked out for me. But you got a bunch of cooks in the kitchen, it gets a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, but you're a kid, come to LA, you want to make it, you join a band. The world is promised to you when someone's getting you to sign a piece of paper. They tell you how great it's going to be. They don't tell you how hard it's going to be or what if it goes wrong here or what if.
Yeah.
So when you're a kid making a deal, you're not thinking like, okay, let's play this deal all the way through all stages of the deal. Because there's a thing called deal fatigue. There's a thing.
Yeah.
There's all these stages of deals we get into. You only know it until you've been in a bunch of deals, and then you kind of can model. And you go, okay, if this deal goes really well, how does everyone want to participate?
Right.
And also, let's talk about that. That's another thing we don't do as artists when we negotiate. We don't go, okay, in success, what do you hope to get?
Right.
And where is there a cap on it? Is there a ceiling on it? Or is it just in perpetuity forever and ever? If we win on the first game or the first at bat, we hit the ball and we do that a couple times and we build something valuable, how do you want to participate?
Right.
And then you need them to say it. Well, I want to own you forever.
Yeah.
So I just be clear. I just want you to say it.
Yeah.
So that and then let's all
we
talk
all
about
know.
that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
let's
yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
So why can't we have a negotiation like that? Well, we can, but it's really hard when you're like, I just also don't want to lose this opportunity. And
For sure.
You're like a
That's-
kid
I
and-
mean, yeah, that's like exactly
It-
kind of what it came down to.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so they're going to leverage that idea of who they are, not actually who they are.
Yep.
And then also your parents are there maybe, or this person's there.
Yeah.
And no one's done this before, and they're all like, "This seems so big and such a good opportunity. It's probably the only one we're going to get." That's another thing when you're inexperienced. You
Yeah.
don't realize like, no, there'll be more.
Yeah.
Just trust that. But this is what happens to most artists. So for anyone listening, a production company, generally a couple guys get together, they go, let's sign some artists. We'll sign into a production deal. As a production deal, we're responsible and we own. I don't have a production company. I'm just saying on the we of the other side. Okay, we own their masters, we own their publishing, we own their brand. We help build it. All that. You could argue that we did. You could argue that we did nothing. There's a lot of ways people could look at it.
Yeah.
And you're a kid. You guys, production company. We put together this band. We could get down the road. We start working. We have success, which rarely happens too, by the way.
Yeah.
Not many people make it.
Lightning in a bottle, man.
Right. So, but what we've done is we've wrapped you up in this production deal and forever and ever. And now we own X percent. Most of the time it's 50%, really unfair, especially if there's 4 or 5 members of a band. So that means we get to split 50% between 5 of us. That's 10% each. So we're going to go out for 5 years of our life. We're going to come back. And if we've made $1, you get 50 and we each get 10 cents. So think about that, kids.
The boy
Okay.
band curse.
All right.
The boy band curse. Man.
It's so hard. So just, I'm here with you.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop and just hold that.
Yeah. And I don't want to come across like I didn't make money because we
No.
definitely made money.
Yes.
But the structure of
The
everything
structure was-
when it comes down to having so many, especially with bands, it's the biggest struggle is the splits at the end of the day.
It's emotional.
As a solo artist, you have, let's say, just to put it in numbers, you have to have 10% of the amount of success to make the same amount of money, right? If your split ends up being 10 ways in a group.
And let's be clear as we talk about money. If you want to do this for a living,
yeah,
so which we both do,
right,
we love to make art, but we want to do it full time so that we can do it again.
right,
So that the people that made us can get more.
right,
Not to make money off them. It's to do it.
Right.
Okay. The truth that I've found about most artists is they actually don't care about money.
No, it's secondary. The experience and being the person and providing, at least for me, is my main goal and focus.
I know that.
in all
I can
of this.
tell.
It's like being and existing and providing and like just the fun of it. You know, it's like I would not rather be doing anything else with my life. And so it's such a blessing, but you also have to be able to live on it.
You got to be able to live.
If you want to actually be able to take it seriously and do it with your life.
That's right. And I will say this as well. When I bring money up, it's the most physical thing I can explain to people of the splits. It's not about money. I'm just using the money as an example of what is split up.
Yes.
Actually, your art is also split up.
Yeah.
So everything that you poured your energy into, your effort into, your experience, everything that you went to create is now owned by this collective group of people because of that piece of paper. So the legality of that paper stands in some cases. In some cases, it doesn't actually stand. So there's that's why you have to go to court. But what I'm saying is to the people listening, so that they understand the production deal concept or any bad deal. Here's what I will say. Anyone listening that owns a production company, I will not apologize. Production deals are the worst deals you can ever do.
Yeah.
I would never do a production deal with an artist. Well, the truth of the matter of my company is we don't have any deals with anyone.
Oh, wow.
It's a handshake.
Wow.
And
good business.
People have left.
Yeah.
People we have put a lot of time into. That's okay.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Yeah. Not everybody can. So
Not everyone can because they don't have talent.
Yeah.
If you have talent, you always feel okay. You go, I can go forward and I can do it again.
Yeah.
And I'm also not going to live in embittered. I don't hate anyone.
Yeah.
If someone feels they need to go somewhere, they can go.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna beg someone to love me.
Yeah.
That's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
If they don't see me, they don't see me. And
someone will.
Now, I love talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm very protective.
Yeah.
And it's not fair. Managers use those deals to scare artists.
Yeah.
Because artists don't know actually how much power they have, at least in California. I'll say that. So if you're going to do a management contract, do it in California.
Yeah.
All artists listening. It's game.
Yeah.
I will say that only because you probably feel the same way that I do. And then we'll get back to what's really important. But I wanted to, you probably feel like, I wish I had met 27-year-old me when I was 17.
For sure.
That would just tell me how it works.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Free game.
Yeah. I was 17 when we signed, and my parents don't know anything about the industry. But you said it like pretty much exactly earlier. There's an opportunity in front, and parents are involved. It might be the only opportunity we get. At first, I didn't even want to be in a group. I was like potentially not going to sign this contract.
Okay.
I was like, it was a decent, I will say, it was a decent deal for a concept band.
Right.
And I was against Why Don't We at first.
But now how do you feel about it?
And
aside from the ordeal you went through, let's put all that aside, right? It's almost impossible to do that, I know, but like, how do you feel about the experience you had? Like, what came out of that experience of being in the band over that time?
It was the best experience of my life so far, probably besides like working on my solo stuff now.
Right.
Just because the intention is so different and like my soul is so much more involved.
Of course. Of course.
But I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. I mean, it was like every day was pinch me moments. Like, what? This is really happening to me, and I get to do it with my 4 closest friends. So the experience itself was amazing. I mean, we got to do what millions of kids around the world dream of doing. And
it's a dream.
It was the coolest thing ever. And to be like under 21, like touring the world, and you know, girls are screaming your name and the whole thing, the whole boy band experience. I mean, thank God I signed the contract, because if I didn't, I would have shot myself in the foot, literally and figuratively. But it was amazing, man. And I think now we're
Are you guys still close?
Yes and no. I mean, we don't talk every day. We don't like necessarily go out of our way to like hang
normal,
out.
though, dude.
Yeah, we're all in our like mid to like getting into our late 20s now. So I think, and like with the pandemic, we were all kind of forced into our own homes, and we all had slightly different friend groups at the time. So I think there's this natural separation. You know, it's like when you go to college, and like if you leave college and go get a job in a different field or something, or in a different state, and like all those friends you made in high school and college, maybe you don't see each other as much anymore, but
you share
the memories
that.
you share, stay with you. So like, I mean, if we see each other out, you know, randomly, or if we end up hanging out, it's like, it's always a great time.
You have, would you say you have like a deep respect for each other and what you guys did together?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I think that's what like kept us together for as long as we were, to be honest, because things were never really like bad within the group. There were a couple things along the way that shouldn't have happened, but
like what?
I've never really talked about this.
Well, you don't have to, but if you don't
dude,
mind, I'm just looking for context. When you say that, it's very like this. It sounds
these are like
very
the boy band secrets.
Okay.
You know? These are like the boy band secrets. There was some stuff that happened.
Was it like drug stuff?
No, it was like personal relationship stuff. Where certain people were kind of stepping over boundaries, and I'll leave it at that. I don't want to incriminate anybody. But there were a couple of things that happened along the way that were.
That's very, yeah. That's sounds ominous.
Yeah, there were just some decisions made along the way that were not for the good of the group, and were just a few decisions that were selfish and
Okay, selfishness.
yeah, just,
Someone looking out for themselves.
yeah,
Okay.
but being sneaky about it.
Right. Yeah. As people are when they're doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dishonest.
And yeah,
Okay.
dishonest. A
All
couple little backstabby moments.
Okay. That makes
but-
sense.
I think it's natural to some extent.
Well, if
I
you,
think not. It's natural. I think it happens, and I think it's how you deal with it that matters the most. I mean, there's certain things that you can't really prevent, at least from my perspective, you know. And a couple of these things were done to me personally.
okay, so so here's what I think. I think you're in a very cutthroat business.
Yeah.
Everybody's dealing with different levels of self-esteem,
Yeah.
different levels of intelligence,
Yeah.
different levels of emotional intelligence. And so when you get four guys,
Five.
five,
total,
okay.
Yeah.
So you get five guys, throw them into a situation where they're kind of bound to one another.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've also got this really unhealthy relationship with this probably, I'm guessing from my experience and what I know,
Mm-hmm.
you probably have a really a dishonest, mostly dishonest, or let's say even halfway dishonest relationship with the production company, who's never going to tell you the truth exactly.
Yeah.
Because we need you to keep doing this the way we want you to do it. So we're going to tell you what we need you to do, and we're going to manipulate you. So it's a lot of manipulation.
Yeah.
So then it's set up from the start to be a little dishonest.
For sure.
And then you're kind of forcing yourself to try and you're surviving.
Yeah.
And then everyone does that different.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
one guy's going to lie about this. One guy's going to go and try to make side deals. One guy's going to, and then you're these four kids who've grown up in this kind of like unhealthy, from the start setup.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's always going to be
just
a
trying
little,
to navigate that and
Right.
like stay close. And you know, I think the one thing that got us through was for the majority of the time we were in the band, we knew that we had each other like this.
right. But was there one guy that you feel like really held you down? Did you have like one friend?
Yeah. The situation that happened with me happened with the guy who in the band was my best friend in the band at the time.
Oh, wow. That hurts more. Yeah, stings.
It's pretty crazy, man. There's some beans I can't spill, but
You don't have to.
yeah.
And maybe like fans listening have more, probably could like, there's probably like little like riddles they could solve. They
Yeah.
know more than I do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to know actually anything that you don't want to share, because I truly don't. I will say I just had a reconciliation, not the same situation at all. This was a dear friend of mine. Didn't do me wrong, but he hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And at an older age, so it's different. So it's not as, it doesn't feel as all encompassing
Right.
when you're older.
Right.
But it was really a meaningful friendship, and he hurt my feelings, and it made me question: are we really friends? Like,
Right.
he did something where I was like, "Are we really friends?" Like, I
Yeah.
thought, like, to me, a friend, there's no veil, there's no
Right.
curtain, there's no. I bring my whole self. I'm really honest, and I shut down though. The way I handled it wrong, I shut him out instead of being more like therapeutic about it and going like, "Hey, dude, I feel like this. You hurt me, and I care about our friendship. So here's my side of the story. Here's what I feel like happened.
Yeah.
And we just did that after a few years.
Yeah.
And looking back on it, I regret not doing it sooner because it was a really like healing experience. And I also feel like as a man too, like I feel like more of a man.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
Yeah.
Like I know that doesn't,
because you stepped over a looming cloud, you know, and like we're the bigger person, and
he was too.
Yeah.
We ran into each other.
Time like that sometimes.
We ran into each other at a friend's show, and it caught us both off guard. And I was like, "Oh my God, man, I miss you so much."
You were like right here, right now.
And we didn't do it there though.
Okay.
We both said it's not the place or time. And he said the same thing. And then he was like, we both agreed, like, we can't do this here, but we need to.
Yeah.
And so he said, "Hey, will you come see me?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And then we did. I did. I went the next week, went over, and it was a really beautiful, like, and it also made me like emotional. Like after I left, I got kind of emotional because I felt like I missed like a few years of his life. And I love this guy.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have just called him sooner and spoke my heart to him.
Yeah.
He participated in it though. He heard me and he acknowledged it. And then he said how he felt and I heard him.
Yeah.
And we both met. You
That's
have
the only
to
way
do that.
it works is yeah.
You got to meet. You both have to meet in where each other are.
Yeah.
And some people just emotionally can't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the difference with my situation was I was ignoring some red flags, choosing to ignore them. And when it all came to a head, it was kind of like, oh, okay, so that's how it really is. And I kind of came to the realization of like, oh.
That's also really hard.
Yeah.
And it might not be something that can be repaired.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know.
I feel a lot less emotional about it now. It's been a few years.
That's good.
But in the moment, it was crazy. It was like that happened in the middle of the pandemic, and then right like after that, or maybe it was right before that, we got into this lawsuit with our production company. So it was like this like jab, left hook, uppercut. We were like, oh man, what the hell's going on? Yeah. But we made it out, and I think I'm better for it now.
No doubt.
And looking back at all of it, it's like I feel like all encompassing the entire duration of Why Don't We, I learned so much about all aspects of life, just about people and about, you know, being social and about community and society in general and about business, and learned so much about music and so much about friendship and brotherhood and just about like being there for people and being, I think the biggest thing was like the fact that I was a part of something that was bigger than myself, you know? So like finding my role in all of that,
like a team sport.
Yeah. And just soaking it all in, you know? And for pretty much the entire time we were a group, we were a very democratic group. So it was like,
it was a democracy.
Yeah. So it was like, we never really got into disagreements or arguments about small things or even big things. It always kind of came to, and there was 5 of us. So there was pretty much always a majority vote, you know? So it's 3 versus 2. And if it was 3 versus 2, we go with the 3. I think some of our opinions honestly held a little bit more weight than some of the other opinions, depending on the topic.
It's like that in groups. It's like that in groups. It has to be.
But we rarely disagreed, which was part of the magic as well. It was like, we all knew what we wanted, and the most we really disagreed over was like whether or not we should record a certain song that came to our inbox.
Right.
You know? But like just the memories were crazy. I mean, getting on stage every night and doing what we did. And so I miss that so much because I haven't played I haven't toured since 2019.
So are you going to tour with the new music?
Yeah.
If you look at the past 10 years, if you looked at it like, okay, I went to college and then I went to grad school and then I went to grad school again and I got a master's degree in marketing, in production, in performing, in creative direction, and you started to actually list out all the skills you've acquired over the last 10 years at a young age.
Yeah.
Right? So now you look ahead and you go, what can I do with these skills?
Yeah.
Well, I love to make music, so you should keep doing that.
Yep.
But isn't it going to be a better version of what you've done because of what experience you have?
For sure. And I think the biggest difference, you put that so eloquently, I think the experience this time around is so different. And for a while, it took me a good like year and a half to like really figure out who I was or who I thought I was or what I wanted to be and what I wanted to say outside of being in a group. Because, you play a certain role, and like for a long time, I think it's also natural that role becomes this version of you because you're so engulfed in it every day, and not that it's entirely a character, you're playing a version of yourself.
Yeah, of course.
But you play a specific role. And so
what was your role, you think, in that group?
I was like
or do your best to describe it.
Yeah, I think I was like the kind of nerdy, but also swaggy, like smooth tone charmer. Okay. So that was another big thing coming out of the group into the solo stuff was like, can I carry a song? What do I sound like? And I think for the first like year and a half, I kind of got caught trying to make a sound or trying to make music that I thought people wanted to hear from me. And so I put out a couple records that I think now kind of sounded like they could have been Why Don't We songs. My first single actually was an old Why Don't We song that never came out.
Okay.
I feel like, honestly, I would do that over if I could. But
really?
Yeah, it's a good song, but I was very lost at that time.
But
and I didn't think I was.
What do you have to lose from it?
Nothing really. A more explosive debut, I think.
Okay, but what if
a more
you were
controversial debut? Something like when JT came out of NSYNC, right? And he went straight R&B.
Yeah, but that was a different time, dude.
For sure. What
I'm saying is like, what if, like, okay, hear me out. It feels like this latest song, who's the girl?
Chewy from Twice.
Okay, she's also super cool.
Yeah,
I saw it and I was like, these kids are cool. This is cool.
Yeah, she's
But
tight.
I'm just saying, like, it feels like it's going really well.
Yeah, it is. And I say all of that stuff without saying that it's not going well. Although I will say Blink has been kind of the anomaly so far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though, is you try a couple things.
Yeah.
And what I would argue is what if you did come out with the big Justin Timberlake bang and you weren't ready for it?
Yeah. That's a really good point.
Like, what if,
I wasn't ready for it at the time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what if like life knows more than you?
Yeah.
And what if like that first single wasn't supposed to be? Who knows what that affects?
Yeah.
Who knows if that big first song, it's the biggest thing in the world, and oh, it's great, I'm gonna be this person. What if it's not the best thing for you to be that person?
Yeah.
Like, what if you get there on your own way?
Yeah.
And like you can live with it.
Yeah.
Versus die doing it.
Yeah. And I think that that's what has happened. I think, and
I'm just saying.
No, and I think you're right about it, because it took me a year to really figure out, like, it took me trying I didn't think that I could pull off for me to be like, oh, I've just been scared of this the whole time, or this was in me and I didn't know that it was. And also the idea that it took me a year to start making stuff that I wanted to make versus making stuff that I liked but was for somebody else.
Yeah.
And it was my A&R at my label at the time that kind of pulled me out of that.
What label are you on?
I'm on BMG.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
They've treated me really
labels.
well. And yeah, it's labels.
But it's great when you find a champion in a building.
And they gave me a super artist friendly deal.
Yeah.
Which
good for you.
Thanks, man. I couldn't turn
You deserve it.
And thank you.
You earned it.
Thank you. Complete juxtaposition.
But that's why you have it.
Yeah. Had to do that to get here.
But you drew the line because you knew there was a line that you could draw.
Yeah.
And when we don't know there's a line we can draw, we don't draw it.
Yeah.
And then that's how we get exploited.
Yeah. And granted, they loved my first single, which was the reason they signed me. So I can't badmouth it too much, and it's a good song. It's I'm saying this.
So that's the thing, though, is like you've got all this experience, and you can. And so I'm sitting with you, artist to artist, but I'm 46, so I'm almost 20 years older than you. I'm up the road, and you came up the road to meet the future.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you from the future, hey, so here's the deal.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It's a long road.
Yeah.
And there's a couple versions of this, right? And like, what if the ghost of Christmas future came to you and said, I'm going to play you a couple different movies. One of them, you're the biggest thing in the world, but you're going to die on a toilet when you're 41 or when you're 40. Mm-hmm. You're going to be sitting on the toilet and you're going to have a heart attack from opiates. Right? And you're the biggest,
super tragic,
and you're the
story.
biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You have everything you thought you wanted. There's another version.
Actually insane story. If
right.
Like, yeah.
Right. But when we say I want to be, and I mean this with the most love and respect for Elvis, because I love Elvis, but it's a tragic story. It's not a great story.
Yeah.
It's the tragic side of success if not grown organically and healthy, and
right.
we don't stop and go, hey kid, listen, forget about all them. Other than what do you want? And
right.
then you start going towards what you want, which is, it's okay. Music, success, all that, right? And all that comes with it. Some of it it's great if you can actually hold it.
Yeah.
If it overwhelms you and the tidal wave crashes over you and you crash and burn, well, they'll all love watching that.
Yeah.
Trust me. But
isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, but you're a real person.
Yeah.
And then I think it's something like, you're only 27.
Yeah.
So you look ahead and you go, what kind of life do I want to build? Well, I love performing and I want to write hit songs and I want to have that. You're still at the beginning of touching your dreams.
Yeah.
You should do it.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid, and then make those decisions based on what you're excited about.
Yeah.
Instead of what you think is going to make that person happy and all those people.
Coming to that realization was super enlightening.
Yeah.
It's also been interesting, and I think you probably experienced this. Everyone in their early mid-20s has probably experienced this.
Yeah.
The amount of changing you do as a person from 21 to now 27, like even like 23 to 27.
Even 25 to 27.
Dude, it's crazy. Every year has been so full of just like internal change, external change, changing of priorities, like, and in music, for me at least, it's been like this shift from telling someone else's story to like trying to find a way to tell my own. And like that shift has been kind of crazy to try to navigate. Been very fun. And I've been blessed to like work with some people that have like really tried to pull the best out of me, which I feel like not everybody gets the chance to. But it's also been fun just like discovering parts of myself that I didn't know were there, and also like falling in love with music in a way that I haven't before. I've always loved music, and being in the group, music is what got me to where I am, but it was never as personal as it is now. I never really had as much of a hand in the creation of it as I do now. And so like that has been a whole new world that's opened up, and it's been so fun. Like the EP that's coming out in January, the turning point I think for me was last like October.
What's the name of the EP?
It's called Head First.
So the EP comes out in 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's called Head First.
It's called Head First. Yeah.
Cool, man.
And yeah, thanks. It's the narrative is, it's kind of nail on the head. It's just about like diving in head first into like officially diving into like who I am and my journey in music and my career. And I've just dropped singles kind of up to this point. So this is like the first actual body of work that feels cohesive, and the songs are very different than anything that I have dropped before. And it feels like, it's probably so cliche to say, but it just feels like the most authentic version of like who I am right now. And I think I had to do all of the earlier stuff to get here for sure.
But wouldn't you say though that like that's how every record should feel?
Yeah, I think so.
And that even
but I've never
though,
really felt it like that before.
Right.
Even with the Why Don't We albums, it was
but
like,
that's also part of maturity.
Yeah.
Because like what happens, I think, in these young careers, because I got started young too. And
how old were you when you started?
I mean, when I signed my record deal, I was 19, 20.
Yeah.
And I had been touring for a couple of years. But we had more of like a band kind of in a van touring regionally wherever we could.
Yeah.
And then we started kind of getting national in the 90s. It was like Eve 6 was a band. They took us on tour because we had opened for them locally, and like we became a band in the region of like DC, Maryland, Virginia. Like if a big band came through and their ticket sales were not high enough, the promoter would throw us on and we'd sell like 2,000 more tickets.
Sick.
So we had like started to have a following.
Yeah.
And then we were just touring in like a minivan.
Yeah.
And just going wherever, New York, Pennsylvania, all up and down the East Coast.
Yeah, our first tour was wasn't a minivan; it was a Sprinter van.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It was, same
thing.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Fun, dude. Treacherous, but fun, man.
Yeah. Super fun, really wild.
Yeah. Tough though.
Tough.
Living out of a van is no joke, man. Hotels and vans.
Yeah.
No joke, man.
Hotels. Oof. The world kind of beats you up a little bit, and a couple of these legal things happen, or this happens, and you have to grow up real fast.
Yeah.
And then you suddenly start to come into your self, actually.
Yeah.
Because that's what it forces you to do. So that's why I say, I don't know if it was so bad.
Yeah.
Because if we were sitting here today and you were still in Why Don't We doing that, I'm not sure if you'd be completely you, who you are.
I don't think I would.
And happy as a person.
Yeah.
It's not taking away what you did, but don't you deserve as a person to make decisions for you?
For sure.
To be happy.
For sure. And that's been the most liberating thing about this whole experience. And it's part of the reason that I called the EP Head First, even though there's not a song called Head First on the EP, you know? Thought about writing one though.
You still can.
I named the EP
you
first.
Have 2 days.
But I might do like a release
bonus
it after. Yeah, a little deluxe, but it's one extra track.
You write
we'll see
the
how
rules.
quickly I can turn it around.
But you get to do whatever the you want.
Yeah.
What's the K-pop connection?
The K-pop connection for Blink specifically?
Yeah.
Kind of a couple different things. First, I had been wanting to do something on the artist side of K-pop for a long time. I had
You've always been interested in it.
Yeah, and I've
like
been
you're
watching
a fan of it.
Yeah, and I've been watching it bubble over the years. And I remember seeing BTS back in 2016 or 2017 at the Billboard Music Awards. Me and the guys were there. We were like, who are these guys? And they came in. I think they won Best New Artist. Or they won something there that we were like, who are these guys? And then fast forward a couple of years later, we wrote a song that was supposed to be for us that ended up getting pitched out. And Lauv wanted it, and he put BTS on it. And so that was like our first and my first like big K-pop cut. And then a couple of years later, it was like a year or two later, I had a song that I wrote on.
Success.
Oh, dude, it's the most random. Yeah, it was crazy.
Huge.
I woke up one morning and saw the producer agreement in my email, and I was like, I didn't even know this song got sent out. I was like, you guys can have this.
Yeah,
take this song, please take it. And I think it did 300 or 400 million streams.
That's crazy.
Really big record. It's a cool song. It's called Who.
Cool.
So if you ever want to check it out,
I'll listen to it in the car.
And yeah, it's like a 6/8 kind of waltzy, like ballad, emotional. I don't know who we wrote it about at the time. We were writing it for us, but
it's cool though.
I'm glad they took it.
Yeah.
And then I had an NCT 127 cut a couple years later on a song called Angel Eyes. And then a couple of my bandmates had written a song for Twice called I Got You, I think is the name of the song now. I think they changed some lyrics and whatever. But that was my kind of distant association with Twice. I wasn't there the day that they wrote the song, but I remember the demo coming through and being stoked about it, and they got that cut. So I had been kind of participating kind of loosely on the songwriting side. And when I wrote Blink back in, it was October last year. I think it's been a little over a year. Well, October 24. We wrote it with the intention of having a female on the chorus. At the time, we had my producer, his name's Tenrock. We did, I think 5 out of the 6 songs on the EP I did with him. He sang the chorus originally and ran it through AI, form and shift, turned it into a girl voice just so we could hear. That was the first time I actually kind of saw AI in music as well. Interesting landscape, I will say. But I think it's, I will say this, and then I'll continue my story. I think it's a beautiful tool if used correctly. And I think that...
I love AI.
I think it's great, man. Yeah. I think it can be misused very easily.
I use ChatGPT all day, every day.
I think there's a little bit, and I might get some for this, but I think there's a stigma around it, and I think there's a little bit of bandwagon. I understand why, because it can be misused. But I think if you're a creative, AI will never replace human creativity.
No, yeah. Or cool.
Or cool. Yeah, it never will.
No.
It's not possible because that comes from the soul, and and people decide what that is.
Absolutely.
Right? So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But that was my first time kind of seeing that in the studio, and it was really interesting. And so all of a sudden we had this girl voice in the chorus, and I was like, oh, this record is going to be sick. I'm going to hold this record until we have the perfect person. I told my A&R, I was like, I will hold this for 2 years. Longer if we don't get the perfect person. Like, this song feels very special and it feels fresh and it has a timelessness to it. And so we had a bunch of discussions about people and, you know, about Western artists and like Latin artists. And eventually he came to me and was like, how would you feel if we went and got a K-pop idol on it? And I was like, I'm super down. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. I guess I maybe thought that it was kind of out of reach.
Yeah.
Or that it might not make sense.
Yeah.
And he was like, what if I could get Chewy from Twice? And I was like, please reach out, see if she'd be down. I would love that. I think she'd be great. He's been friends with her A&R for some time, or for the group's A&R. And he reached out. Her A&R came back and was like, not sure if they're doing solo records right now, but like send me the song and I'll play it for her and see if she likes it. But don't get your hopes up. And he was like, all right, sent her the song. And like 2 days later, she came back and she was like, hey, she absolutely loved the song and she absolutely wants to do it. And I heard the trumpets playing in my bedroom when I got that text. I was like,
that's good news.
Yeah. And so then I was curious how her vocal was going to sound on it, because I had been living with this AI demo version for
you were
almost like 6-8 months.
Yeah.
At that point, I hadn't listened to it in a while. She sent her vocal back and it was, I mean, it'd be cliche to say it was perfect, but it was near. And we were like, yeah, we got it.
It's cool.
This is the one. And
it's super cool. I like it.
yeah, thanks, man. And then we went to Korea to shoot the video, and
how was that?
Amazing. Her and her team were so like welcoming and just like cool and fun. And it was, I guess, not what I had expected, because the way the industry runs out there, it's so much, it runs like a machine here, but it's a machine over there.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went into it, you know, expecting things to be a little bit more, not corporate, but a little bit rigid is a good word. And it just wasn't. It was really, and their culture is a little bit different, and they're not, you know, a very physically warm culture typically. So, you know, I think Americans are a lot more like huggy, and,
we're
you know,
loud
dap up, and,
yeah.
And so me and 3 of my friends who are some of my favorite creatives, I'm with my creative director, his longtime friend who's a DP, and my choreographer. And so it's just 4 guys and a dream.
So good to meet you, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Hell yeah, thanks for
Congrats
having me.
on the EP, and
thank you.
Good luck with the tour.
Thank you.
Congrats on all the success. I hope that you celebrate all these past 10 years, everything you did with the band and everything you're doing now. You know, it's one song at a time. It's 1 year at a time. It's one tour at a time, one show at a time.
Yeah.
And
trying to just take it all as that.
Yeah, man.
And
you're doing good.
One foot in front of the other. Keep stepping and just like do stuff that if I believe in it, then it's right.
Yeah, man.
You know,
I'm glad I got to meet you.
Easier said than done some days, but yeah, you too, man. Stoked to be here.
Cool, man.
I love the space.
Thanks,
I love
dude.
your energy.
Thank you.
For having me.
Cool, dude. Thanks. Thank you for watching Artist Friendly. If you like this episode, please make sure you hit the like button, you follow the channel, and please share it with your friends. We appreciate the support. That is why this show exists, because you listen to it. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
I don't wanna have